Spring is here and it's time to get out of the house and away from your desk. After a long winter feeling cooped up inside the house and the office, it's time to create some new healthy habits. So this week we went looking for your top 10 tips on how to disconnect after work. How do you set apart work and life? What do you do at the end of your workday to stop your brain from working and ensure that you have work-life balance? Now, our first tip for our top 10 this week comes from Lori Jo Jaycox from New Jersey. Lori Jo reminds us that we aren't looking for work life balance, but instead life work balance. By just the little switch of the words in your mind, it helps you focus that life is much more important. It comes first, and it makes it infinitely easier to switch off work at the end of the day when you realize you're going back to life. Michelle Morford from Maryville, Washington shares that she took her work email off her mobile phone. It is much easier to be at home if your email doesn't follow you around, even every time you look at your phone. Number three comes from Diana Webster Rockwell from New York, and she shares that her disconnect from work happens on the way home, on the car ride home. She has other things that she wants to concentrate, which makes it really easy to switch off. Whitney Kelso from Virginia Beach, Virginia says that since she works from her office a couple of days a week, she doesn't bring her laptop home when the next day is an in-office day. She says that by leaving it in the office, she finds it easier to just walk away and disconnect. Number five is from Janine Rose, also from Virginia. Janine makes a point to go straight to the gym after work. That allows her to work out all the stress from the day and lighten her thinking process when she gets home. She gave us a bonus tip and said she likes to have a glass of wine to help her separate once she gets home as well. Kim Picard from Embrun, Ontario, does what I do. She plays computer games. Kim likes to unwind and detach by playing a game that doesn't require a lot of thinking. Now, I know that still play Words with Friends with some of you, and I have been playing for over 10 years. That is my secret to unwind and disconnect. Trinity Sorensen Hines from Fort St. John, BC, has a healthy routine of going for a walk to unwind after dinner. Now, many times we need to rush home and cook dinner for our family right after work, so we don't necessarily have the time at the end of the workday to do any routine. But once dinner is over, out the door Trinity goes and gets a fresh air and a disconnect. Jackie Prospero from Belleville, Ontario brings us to number 8. Since Jackie works at home, she has work shoes. Let me get this right. Work house slippers and work slippers. She puts on her house shoes or her house slippers when her workday begins, kind of like putting on your outfit for work. And when the workday is over, she switches her shoes to her comfy slippers, kind of like when we come home from the office, we sometimes put our comfy shoes on. Now, we all realize that our feet are never never seen on camera, or my feet have never been seen on camera, but it's the action of changing her shoes, kind of like us changing when we get home, that switches the off switch for Jackie. Number 9 is from Vanessa Bauer from Edmonton, Alberta. Vanessa shared that someone once told her that motion changes emotion. So she has a set routine that she follows at the end of each workday. Her motion changes her emotions. Now, you can do that with any of the routines that we shared here, or create your own motion to change your emotion. And number 10 comes from Patrice Horster, who suggests that we do something creative so that our brain pops over to the right side instead of left brain thinking. Now, online, she shared some of the creative chalk art that she did, and she's very talented. And while I'm not that creative, anything that causes you to be right brain thinking will do that separation. Just find something to be creative with. There are dozens more things that you can do, but ultimately, the most important thing you can do is create a routine. Now, good luck on creating life work balance. I know that once it becomes your routine, you won't regret it.